what's up, everyone? My name is Untamed Mando. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are here for episode 5 of Ahsoka. Yes, all of you have been waiting with bated breath, I know. This episode, it's not so bad. Not so bad. It might be my favorite so far of the season. But let's get into that. Without further ado, we're going to go into comic book TV. Talking about definitely a spoiler-filled recap of episode 5 of Ahsoka. Ooh, yes, there's going to be spoilers. We're now in the second half of season 1 of Star Wars Ahsoka, and it is promising to not leave the Star Wars galaxy quite the same after last week's bombshell ending and the announcement. Bombshell? I guess, yes, Anakin was technically considered a bombshell announcement. Sure. And the announcement of surprise theatrical screenings of this week's episode. It was pretty safe to assume that this installment would up the ante, and we're here to break down all the ways it absolutely did, kind of. I don't know if I agree. It wasn't bad. What happens in Star Wars Ahsoka, episode 5, to map the map to Thrawn is in pieces. Hera arrives at Morgan's waypoint to find it empty. Jason asks if he can join her on the planet, and she reluctantly agrees. As long as he and Chopper don't wander too far, Hera eventually finds Hu Yang, who is sadly cradling Sabine's helmet and lamenting that Ahsoka and Sabine didn't listen to him. When he told them to stick together, they of course did not stick together, and Hu Yang is very sad, holding Sabine's Mando helmet, which, yes, we all guessed it. The only reason that the helmet popped off was so it could have a plot point in this episode. I don't like it. I think it was unnecessary. Mando's not supposed to take their helmet off during combat, especially. So it's fine. It is what it is. But anyway, last week, if you guys do remember, we left off with an Ahsoka on the world between worlds, looking at the bridge. She sees Anakin, because all of that happened because she got thrown off a cliff. Sabine gave the map over to the bad guys, to Baylan. Baylan destroys the map after they figure out where they need to go. So that's kind of where we're left off, and Sabine goes with the bad guys to find Ezra. Yay. In the world between worlds, Ahsoka and Anakin remark about their changed appearances. Anakin explains that she's here to finish her training, particularly the lesson of whether to live or die, which doesn't really make sense to me. It's very confusing. I don't really... He draws his lightsaber and they duel. At one point, Anakin breaks the ground Ahsoka is standing on, sending her crashing down into a flashback of their time in the Clone Wars. I really enjoyed these flashbacks of the Clone Wars. The CGI was a little bit wonky, but I really enjoyed the Clone Wars flashbacks here. Ahsoka asks Anakin why they were sent to this mission, but he refuses to answer. They run through the battle, and Ahsoka later sees wounded clone troopers. She sees clone troopers. They are not stormtroopers until the Empire. They are clone troopers. And we do also get a cameo of Captain Rex. Hoo-yah. Crying over how many were lost and blaming herself for it, Anakin tries to turn it into a teachable moment, but Ahsoka is hesitant. Anakin and the troopers run into battle, and Ahsoka very briefly sees a vision of Vader marching into battle. See, this whole training saga, this training vision that Ahsoka's having, is her dealing with the fact that she blames herself for what happened to Anakin. She blames herself for him falling to the dark side. She blames herself for leaving him behind. This is basically her dealing with those issues. And Anakin's kind of helping her deal with them, because she thinks that she's going to turn out just like Vader. In another flashback, Ahsoka, Rex, and a number of troopers move through the siege of Mandalore. Anakin tells Ahsoka she's a part of a legacy, but she still believes all she brings about is death and destruction, which is untrue at all. Anakin once again gives her the choice to live or die and duels with her with his red lightsaber. They move back to the world between worlds where Ahsoka reveals that she chooses to live. But for a brief second, she had the Sith eyes. She had the yellow eyes of a Sithie. She had them. Anakin disappears and Ahsoka is transported back to the water she was drowning in. So yeah, we were correct. She fell in the water and she was drowning. I knew it. I was right. Woo, it was basically a Force vision. Meanwhile, Huyang confirms the map is broken beyond repair and suggests that Ahsoka and Sabine are lost. So we were wrong that we were going to do a Indiana Jones with the map on her hand. Carson says General Organa can only give them cover with the New Republic command for so long. Excuse me. Hold right there. Hold. Senator Organa? She should be Supreme Chancellor Organa. She and Luke and Han, where are they? We got 5-second mention of Senator Organa is trying to give you cover. The hell she is. Senator Organa can be like, bees, I need all of you to do this. Bow down. Like, bro. Like, what? Really? That's the only power she has within the Galactic Republic is, hey, I can cover for you for a little bit. Nah, be like, I've got Ahsoka and Hera on secret missions. Move along. That's my big gripe with this episode. But Hera wants to investigate further. Jason insists that something is off with the water and tells Hera he can hear the lightsabers crashing. Hera believes Jason and sends the fleet back up to investigate, leaving Jason and Chopper alone. Hera is unsure about her leadership decisions, but talking with Huyang makes her feel better. Chopper and Jason tell Hera and Huyang to fly low into the water, and they do. They get real up close and personal. Ahsoka wakes back up saying Anakin's name just as the New Republic officer rescues her from the water. Later, she wakes up on the ship and Huyang explains what happened. Ahsoka hugs Jason, who asked who Ahsoka was dueling, but Hera and Huyang change the subject. Hera asks Ahsoka about Sabine's whereabouts, and Ahsoka reads the remains of the map. Hearing the memories of Sabine's standoff with Baylan and Shin, she knows that she got betrayed. Ahsoka tells Hera it might not be easy to find Sabine, but Hera wants to try anyway. Ahsoka stays outside and hears the call of a Purrgil. Meanwhile, on the ship, Carson and Hera holographically meet with Mon Mothma, it's hard to say her name, who orders for them to return to Coruscant, so Hera can be tried by the Senate Oversight Committee for her leadership abilities. Carson keeps the New Republic at bay, insisting that Hera is completing her mission. Nevertheless, Ahsoka determines that the Purrgils are the way to find Sabine and leads her ship and the Ghost through a flying fleet of them. Ahsoka goes outside the ship to use the Force on one of them, and the Purrgil opens its mouth Pinocchio style and allows the ship to... Not Pinocchio style. I was thinking more like Jonah and the whale. She's literally going into the belly of the... You know what? It's fine. What do I know? Pinocchio style allows the ships to fly inside. Huyang asks where the Purrgils are going, but Ahsoka says to trust them. Either way, the Purrgils make the jump into the new galaxy with Jason and Hera staying behind. I didn't have too many issues with this. My main issue was the fact that we got a little sentence with Senator Organa. We got a sentence basically saying, yeah, I can only cover for you for like 5 minutes. When did Hera talk to Organa? I wanted to see that interaction. I want to see like Hera be like, hey, Senator Organa, I've got some Jedi business that I need to do. I need you to cover me. Be like, bet, girl, bet. Like, come on. Like, I know that Disney hates the OG. I understand, because at any time they try and even mention the OG characters like Han, Luke, and Leia, they are minimized, they are degraded, and they are sidestepped. It's very frustrating because I would have loved to have seen a Senator Organa in her prime, a Luke Skywalker in his prime, a Han Solo in his prime, as the defenders and the builders of the New Republic. Nope. We get a throwaway line with Ahsoka saying, oh, Senator Organa doesn't really have much say in anything. I'm sorry. Like, all she would have to do is say, hey, Ahsoka is doing a special mission with Luke Skywalker. You know, the one who took out both Death Stars, you know, yeah, the Jedi. Yeah, she's doing Jedi business. So move the hell away from this. What is this? And also, Hera is a freaking war hero. She was there at the Siege of Lothal. She pushed back Thrawn. Oh my freaking god. What the hell is even going on with the Star Wars universe? Like, nothing makes sense. I know I'm ranting, and I said that this episode was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed the flashbacks to the Clone Wars. That was my favorite part because we got to see a de-aged Ahsoka, a young little Ahsoka when, you know, she was Snips, and we got to see Anakin doing Anakin Clone Wars things with the Clone Wars armor. I thought that was so cool. I really like the Clone Wars armor on Anakin, to be quite honest. And we got to see a little bit of their back and forth of, you know, Ahsoka being Ahsoka and Anakin being Anakin, and just that master-apprentice relationship a little bit. And I also don't understand, like, I understand that beforehand she was wearing black clothing and now she's wearing white clothing to, I guess it's supposed to symbolize she's abolished her sins. She'd thrown off the sins of her former master. I don't know. I think at the end of Rebels we saw her in white anyway. So, like, did she regress like Sabine? Did everybody just regress in that 7 years of nothingness? Like, everyone just went back to what they were, like, before Rebels? Because that's what it seems like. It seems like Rebels is kind of like, yeah, we're going to do cameos, but all of that doesn't really matter. All of the character growth and all of that doesn't really matters. Yeah. I do like we're made to, like, Ahsoka is made to deal with her issues from, you know, being Anakin's Padawan and what happened to Anakin and him being like Darth Vader, her having to more or less fight Anakin and Vader, him making her make the choice. The training was a little weird. I think it could have, I mean, I understand she was having PTSD from the Clone Wars. Duh. She saw many, many clone troopers die. Like, these were her brothers. You know, Rex was her brother in arms. I wish we gotten a little bit more of Captain Rex, but that's just me. I do like the cameo and the Siege of Mandalore. It was definitely a lot of CGI for, like, it seemed a little heavy-handed with the CGI, if I'm being honest. It wasn't horrible. It was a little off-putting. That'd probably be one of my critiques. I just guess, like, I like where Hera and Hu Yang kind of had a conversation, like, she's second-guessing herself, but in all honesty, she's been doing this for a long time. What is it, like, with these characters who are supposed to be in the prime of their life? They are supposed to be able to be the bee's knees. They know what they're doing. This is not their first rodeo. This is not the first time they've ridden on a space whale. Like, what? Why does no one act like they know what they're doing in this show? Like, I don't understand. Ahsoka with the crossing of the arms is about the most competent thing that I think anybody consistently does. It literally took for Ahsoka to be on the scene for like less than 5 seconds, and we got the arm cross. I'm so cool and I'm so chill. And I think, honestly, the arm crossing is supposed to represent her closing herself off. If you know any, like, psychology, when you try and do that, you're closing yourself off. You're trying to protect yourself. And then after her training session with Anakin, she's a lot more open. She wears brighter clothing. So that kind of visually symbolizes her throwing off her regrets. That's what I got. Not much happened in this episode. I mean, like, big thing happened, but I mean, I like the ending scene where they like fly into this, like Ahsoka and Hu Yang fly into the space whale, and Hu Yang's like, okay, so do the whales know where we're going? And Ahsoka's like, I don't know where we're going. We're just along for the ride. And Hu Yang's just like, what? that was honestly really funny in my opinion. And the New Republic fleet coming in saying, we're going to take you in. Like, why do they need 2 mid-sized like cruisers to bring in a fleet? Three like X-wings, the Ghost, and Ahsoka. That's not a fleet. What do they? These terminologies, man, they need to get better with their terminology, because they're bringing in like cruiser class ships to come in and pick up like 4 small fighter, 3 fighter class and a mid-sized fighter. Like, what? Yes, I'm getting the classifications incorrect. I'm sorry. You can correct me in the comments down below. But yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. I know it's a little bit more scattered, but it just, there was just little things here and there that were really kind of scattered in my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed this, this recap, this review of episode 5 of Ahsoka. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts. Do you think that the space whales are going to take Ahsoka just happenstancely right to where Ezra is or Sabine is? Do you think that all of the effort in this one episode was kind of wasted? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I know you're walking over here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.